Got callous hands, a sunburned neck, clocking in for a life I can't neglect. The bills stack high, dreams get small, but his little laugh makes it worth it all.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dubai Dads, where bedtime is war, snacks disappear, and Lego on the floor is your worst enemy. I'm Yas, king of bedtime battles. He's Hoos, snack thief, toy negotiator, and part-time Uber driver for his kids. Great to have you guys on today. Today we have a special guest with us, Uneeb Farooqi. He is a comedian, he's a professional, an IT professional, and he is an actor. Uneeb, great to have you on.
Hello, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. Really cool setup you've got here too.
Appreciate it. Hoos, how's your week so far?
It's been all right, man. It's been all right. It's Tuesday still, so long time to go, but so far so good, man.
Amazing. I'm just going to give a brief intro for Uneeb so that we know who we're talking to today. Uneeb is a Dubai-based comedian, actor, and dad who finds humor in parenting, culture, and everyday chaos. In this episode, we dive into how fatherhood changed his comedy, what Dubai dads can laugh and cry about, and why being a parent is more unpredictable than improv shows will ever be. Uneeb, I'm going to start off by shooting out a quick question for you. First of all of us are in hats. It's hat day. Mine's is because I had a bad hair day. What's up with you guys? I mean, Hoos, you're always in a hat.
I lost my hair.
I actually took my hat off briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Just to cool my head down. I'm all for hat day. Hat day it is.
Awesome.
Sorry, it doesn't match, but this is the only one I have here.
It's looking great, man. Good on you. So, Uneeb, you're a comedian and a dad. Which audience is harder to please, the crowd or your kids?
Wow. I think it is sometimes my kid. And it's interesting. I think with an audience, there is the show, there's an expectation that there is a setup, a punchline, and we all laugh. With your kid, no one's really impressed. No one's impressed at who you are, what you do on stage, whether or not you're trained, or whether or not you do this live. No. It's like, nope, you got to pick the tomatoes out of my plate. Doesn't matter what talent you have. And I think that's where sometimes a joke doesn't matter. Sometimes your charm doesn't matter. It's a tougher audience at home for sure.
I feel you, man. I try with all three of my kids sometimes. As they grow older, I feel like it's just going right over the like in one ear and out the other of my elder two. I do have to say though, the younger they are, the easier they are to impress because they don't really care what you say, right? They're all about just like, hey, tell me something, speak to me.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be intelligent, right? So with my my daughter, sometimes I go, "What's your name?" And she says Maya, and I go, "Oh, diamond necklace." That's the funniest. But when you try and do like a scene with a joke and characters and there's a moral story, she loses interest. It's like, no, why'd you go to all that extent? It's the same as when you take your kid to a fair where there's loads of stuff. They'll be happy with the smallest toy, a paperclip, a banana sometimes. An empty bag. Play with it for days.
I buy an expensive toy and they want to play with the box that it came in. I'm like, okay.
I've literally just ordered blue tack, blue tig as my daughter likes to call it. That's her new obsession, blue tack. She wants it in purple.
Mine's obsessed with Scotch tape. She's just taping everything to the wall. I'm not joking, 4 rolls of tape in like 5 days.
You're going to have
stickers
tape
anyone?
all over. All
Stickers,
over the walls.
yeah.
Oh,
I buy them in the thousands.
Stickers are the worst. I
buy them in
hate
the
stickers.
thousands. Yeah.
But I hate stickers because if you get them stuck on the wrong furniture and they don't come off, and then they leave that that white, like the rough white stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've had to throw things away because of that.
Oh, I got a question. What sort of stuff have you guys damaged with things like stickers or things that you've given to your kids?
Everything.
Does everything come back? Does everything come back and bite you?
Everything's been damaged.
Man, you know what happened recently? My son, almost 2, took a pen, and we don't usually give him the pen, but he took it. He went over to the sofa, and on every single seating mattress, the one that you sit on, actually, he
Yeah.
basically drew squiggles all over. Now it's a dark gray sofa, mind you, so it's not too visible, but man, I had to order all this stuff from the States to try to get it off. It's barely coming off now. So yeah, that was my recent experience with
I use this thing called a stain remover, but it's like made by parents. I told you about it. It's a wonder.
You told me about that one.
It's,
and I
it saved our life.
What's it called?
It didn't come off though.
I'll find the
Arm?
name.
Is it Arm and Hammer? Is it
No.
made by Arm and
It's
Hammer?
like made by parents for parents.
Yeah, it's like some.
Oh
special
wow!
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a life changer.
It's only
So I
available in the States
No, it's available here.
through Amazon though, US.
Yeah. It's called Miss Mouth's Messy Eater Stain Treater.
Miss Mouth's Messy Eater Stain
Treater.
Miss? Oh, that's a wow.
It's
Miss Mouth's Messy Eater. I forget the last
Strain
part.
Treater. Yeah, you almost had it. By the way, I recommend it to all parents. It is a life changer. It's organic, so there's no chemicals in it, and I don't know what they do with it. It takes everything off. Like, it's saved our lives.
And Miss Mouth's Messy Eater Stain Treater does not sponsor you guys, right?
No, I really don't want them to because I love their product.
Nobody sponsors us.
I've promoted their product to every single
You do for the
dad
love of the
that's
game.
dad.
Listen, the other day I walked in the office, white door, and I had a purple handprint full on. And I called my daughter. I'm like, Maya, who's done this? And she looked at it, and in like a heartbeat, she said, it was Toto. Toto's a kitten that we just got in the house. And then she went and she grabbed Toto, and she looked at him, did some stuff to him, and then she came back and she said to me, Toto said he's sorry. Toto said he's sorry.
That must have been.
I'm like, will Toto do it again? No, Toto's learned his lesson. So
Cute.
Hilarious. By the way, can we put in post? Remind me to put like right here the picture of the product, just so I could get some free sponsorship money.
Yeah.
say the
Wait,
name.
contact them first. See if they'll pay you.
Mouth,
Otherwise, what's the
Messy
point?
Eater Stain Treater.
Treaters.
By the way, Toto after Wizard of Oz? Yeah, you called the cat Toto after Wizard of Oz?
Oh no, Toto Wolff, the Formula One team manager. This is us projecting our shit onto children, pets, anything who we care for. We're like, what's my hopes and dreams? Well, I do like Formula One, and I wish I was handsome like Toto, and I could run a team, and people would look at me, and Hugo Boss would sponsor my trousers.
It's funny how our brains went so different. I went Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, and you went Formula One. Like, you went a lot more masculine than I did. I went Broadway show.
Yeah. And I don't even know why I've named my cat after a Formula One team manager. But yeah, I just looked at him and he said, he looks posh. He looks classy.
That's it. He's Toto.
That's it. He's Toto.
That's a way to name him.
Toto gets dragged into a lot of stuff. He got blamed for doing a couple of things, which, it's really obvious. It needs opposable thumbs, like holding a pen and so on.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy if your daughter was like, the fish did it. Whose handprint is that? The fish did it. It was a goldfish. I promise.
She said the darndest thing. I'll tell you something. It's interesting. Like, I do comedy, but the funny people in my house are my wife and my kid. My wife is English. She's got these amazing one-liners. Some of them are just. It's the timing. It's dry comedy, and my daughter, she's just saying cute stuff, but some of it is so amusing. So I accidentally left her scooter in my car over the weekend. On Monday, she went to the park. I'm out at work. The scooter's with me, so she had to walk. It's still a little bit warm, so today, when I was going to work, she goes, Daddy, get the scooter out the car. Because yesterday, I had to walk, and my head said, you're hot. And my heart said, you're hot. So I don't want to be hot. No, give me my cooler. Okay.
That's cute.
Kids, man.
It's yeah, head and heart both. Like I just like so it's just like the heightening element of it, right? It's like okay, dad feels guilty. Oh, dad feels worse. Oh, dad is like oh, like the heart and the head, both of them were hot.
Kids always, they have to say the most embarrassing things at the worst times.
Oh yeah,
But hey, I
oh
mean
yeah.
that's the fun of it all, right?
Yeah, and that's the play. That's the play, right? That's the thing that we tend to reform ourselves as we grow up and filter ourselves out till we're who's was it you that said at the top that our parents raise employees, right?
Factory workers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. It's like that generation raises employees. Hang on, my cat is tripping out.
So, Aneeb, I wanted to ask just before we kind of continue, what got you into comedy? Was it just like you were always the funny kid in school?
Um, I think I think we have. I'm Pakistani, and a lot of Pakistanis just have a very funny way of looking at life, and their perspective is always on the lighter side of things. I don't know why that happens, and some nations are like that. I think in the Middle East, in the Arabic countries, Egyptians are very much like that. I find they take a difficult situation and are able to sort of process it with just a bit of humor. Um, Now, I'm not saying I had difficult situations, but it's just the environment I grew up around, my family, friends, a lot of funny people around me. And it's just the way we talk. You can't sometimes resist adding a punchline to a situation, and everyone sort of unites over that. And I never do it to be funny. I think it's more about uniting. And it's just something that I grew up with. So I grew up, I did university, I became a corporate guy, and then I started dating. And I was becoming like super serious and pretty obnoxious sometimes and impatient. And through a connect, I was doing a lot of work between Dubai and Saudi. So I was going 2 weeks in Saudi, 2 weeks back here. My missus, through a friend, was like, "Hey, we discovered this theater. Maybe you should go check it out." And that was 2016. Yeah, so it's going to be like 10 years soon. And the next time I was back, I just went and I watched the show. And it blew my mind because it was all improvised. People were making this up on the spot. Up until now, I thought that to kind of have an improv theater was a very much like, you'd have to go to North America or the UK for that. I didn't think that they would have it. And not only did they have it, it was thriving. And I was super curious. So the next time I was back, I looked. Actually, I didn't. The next time I was back, my missus gave me a ticket and she says, "I bought you a course." So I walked in and I never turned back. I walked in and the first thing they teach you is yes and, right? And I was from a very no background, consultant, analyst. Everything is no. Let's look at the situation. Let's think about this and really decide before we make a decision of any sort. And by saying yes more and more, I think you open yourself up a lot to just kind of spotting the situation and the humor of the situation quicker. And honestly, it's just been that route of just saying yes and learning technique, applying that. And that is how I've ended up somehow on stage, on television, doing my version of what is comedy and kind of putting together shows and so on. And it's just this curiosity of like, what more can we do with this? What more can we create? And we're really lucky now to have a lot of creators and creative people in the city, and a lot of people with different comic backgrounds and styles of comedy, and a lot of touring shows that pass through the city. So this is becoming really a great mixing place, a great petri dish for anyone that enjoys a variation really of humor and different styles of humor. Um, but yeah, that's like the long version of a 10-year sort of thing that's been happening.
Fair enough, man. You felt that after becoming a dad, are you funnier?
Ooh. Here's the thing. I think I had the dad jokes before I became a dad, right? I just didn't have the kid. I was busting out these like really corny jokes. When I got into an elevator and people had their phones, I'd say things like, "Thank you for attending the meeting. Now please put your phones on silent. Hardy har," you know. Um, and just the corniest jokes that you can imagine. So I think having a kid justified why I do the jokes. And has it made me funnier? I'll tell you something. Kids are a brutal audience. If you're not funny, they will tell you. The hardest improv show that I do, the most difficult audience to please is the kids show. I do it every Saturday. And if you haven't hit a punchline, if you've missed the mark, and if you've missed something really obvious, the kids will let you have it. They'll tell you. They'll tell you you suck to your face. And and my own kid is no different. She'll tell you, "Daddy, that's not funny." And she'll also tell me when it is funny. So is it uh, is it is it the case that have I become funnier as a dad? I think I've become quicker at reading the audience since
Okay.
I've become a dad.
Do you test out material with her before you do your kids show?
Quite a lot. Quite a lot of storytelling, quite a lot of performing, and quite a lot of miming. There's a couple of games that I try now out with her just to see if I could create a story. I might do just a weird mime and ask her what she saw. And I might just be doing something. And if she sees a creature in there or something happening in there, that becomes the story. And that is amazing because you don't see those things. Maybe it's because I started this too late in life where I was too serious, or um, my imagination is, restricted in some way. It's possible. But to see perspectives that you didn't think about, and you're like 38, 35 years older than this person, it humbles you, and it reminds you, okay, you can still learn. You can learn from any person, and everything can be good and constructive if you have the right mindset.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, when you're growing up, as you get older, especially through your teen years, and then you go to college, you just become hardened, right? A lot of people, most people, they become hardened. They just, you want to be hard and you want to be cool. And so you think 30 million times before you say something. And
So
then
much, yeah.
you get married, you have children. And then once you have your kids, you all of a sudden you're like, wait, I can be that child again. And I really don't, I mean, this is my child will be receptive to whatever I tell them. And for the most part, they are pretty receptive in the beginning, as we were mentioning. So it brings out the child in a person again, I think, in some ways. You get to
Yeah.
relive your childhood, and you're a lot more comfortable talking about and portraying yourself in a very childish way. And I think that's where dad joking comes from. Because if you think about it, why would grown men make corny jokes? It's because they realize, like, oh, I can say that and it'll still get a laugh. So you know what? Let me say some funny stuff that I wouldn't have said to my boys, but I'll say to my kids and probably get a laugh out of it.
Yeah. Are you doing this one? This is a classic.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, that was close. Totally. By the way, isn't it interesting to sort of see that sense of wonder on things, for like things that we take for granted? So many things that we take for granted, and then when you show it to your child, and it's the first time they're interacting with this thing, and you get to see how they go, "What? So this does this? This is how that works." Um,
Yeah.
a watch shows time, but what's time? I mean, okay, maybe that's too broad, but sometimes just explaining the sunset and but where does the sun go? But where does the moon go when the sun's here? And that whole dance. And this is again where just, touching back on who said, he, I make up a story for everything and I enjoy it. So right now we have a sun and moon love story, right? So it's like the sun loves the moon, but she thinks he's ew, so he keeps chasing her. And he nearly succeeds. So the next day she changes herself, and that explains why the moon changes every day. She gets smaller, she gets bigger, and he keeps trying to chase her, but he'll never stop loving her. So there's this like sense of wonder and love too. Corny, and
That's amazing.
that's who I am now.
No, it's cool,
Yeah,
man.
that's that's who we've all become. Who's you? You do the
Yeah.
same with your daughters? Do
Oh
you
man,
like?
I'm gonna say something. I just got my daughter to like these like knock knock jokes or simple cringe jokes. I dropped for she. I want to like it's so funny. I gave her the why did a chicken cross the road joke, and again, this is a person who's never heard this joke before. So just imagine like we've heard this joke a million times. She found it the funniest thing in the world,
Yeah.
and now she goes and tells it to her friends. I'm like, oh my god, like like so.
You must feel like a superhero. Someone gave me a book of dad jokes when I became a dad. They're like, there you go. And it's unfortunate to say I knew most of the jokes in there.
You probably wrote it.
How does the bee brush his hair with a honeycomb?
uh, oh, get out. Get out.
So good, right?
With
It's
a
so good.
honey. Oh gosh, now nothing will come to mind if I think about it.
There's infinite dad jokes.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
And
But yeah, it's just so nice to see someone who's like, imagine has never heard this joke before and finds it the funniest thing in the world. It's
it
just it's
does.
like it's just awesome to see like the eyes light up and just cracking up over a joke that we don't even
Yeah.
think about anymore.
And then it's just as
Absolutely.
embarrassing when you grow up and then your kids are cool teens and they all they're doing is punking you.
Oh yeah, and that's
So
happened,
you get you get
man.
you get both. It comes as a package. You don't just get an amazing audience. You also get the audience to basically throw tomatoes at you
I've
eventually.
seen some brutal ones. I've seen some brutal ones, man. Some of the kids, I think, need to kind of just think those pranks through. Other ones are cute as heck when they're getting their parents to do trends and they have no idea what that means. God.
We have to Google
What
that.
a dad moment. What are like no what? I haven't seen. My explanation was also really bad. It's like all three of us are part of this.
So that's us. That's what we do. But man, I want to ask you, like, was there ever like a chaotic dad moment that ended up in one of your jokes? Do you ever take one? You know how comedians do that? They'll take like an experience or an instance that happened and then turn it into a part of their show. So in your improv or whether it be, I don't know, do you do stand up as well? Has there ever been that
Yeah.
kind of a thing where you've kind of incorporated being a dad into your act?
So much. So there's a couple of types of shows that I do. One of them is musical improv, and there's variations of this, but did like a residence type of a thing last year at this bar, and we're sort of just busking. We're at this musician with me, a couple of other improvisers, and someone had brought their kid to the bar. Actually, there's quite a few people that do that. They live in the hotel, they're staying in the hotel. Um, and it was their kid's birthday, and we sort of sang about that. And then the mom, we take words of inspiration, and we sing about a song that we can come up with that right that word. And the mom thought she was. I mean, a mom has a very different perspective of life. She obviously gave birth to the kid. Um, and the mom said childbirth. And so we did this whole song. Now, we did the song from the perspective of the dad. Um, and the way it lends itself to comedy, I mean, it's like uh, your water broke, but I was brushing my teeth, right? And we rushed you to the hospital, uh, but I had a sandwich to eat. And so it's like all the times, and part of it is so true because when my missus went into labor, um, I went to sleep on the bed next to her in the corner of the room. And at 3 a.m., I was woken up with a gigantic kick. And she said, if I'm awake, you're awake. And I was like, but you're not, like, it's not time. And she's like, nope, if I'm awake, you're awake. And so a lot of these things find their way into comedy. And um, there's so much power in using the truth for what it is. Um, and you get so much more relatability. So when it came to dads being dads, there are stereotypes where dads get it wrong and dads are behind and moms are the bosses, and you use that and kind of portray it in sort of somewhat a real way. But at the same time, sometimes we do serious scenes as well. And I was once asked if someone had like were to hurt your kid, what would you do? And I said I'd rather not on stage, because even the thought of that was like, wow, I could I could become quite angry and upset and violent, maybe just the thought of that.
Yeah.
And it's something that you don't bring on stage. So you do make a choice, of course. You try and stick to the lighter side of life. And there have been other times where, being a dad and learning these new things lends itself to comedy. You meet characters. There's so many interesting people. I now know what a kindergarten school teacher does and says, or my favorite one is the security lady at her school. Sometimes because of traffic, maybe it's 2 minutes before I get her through the door. And when I do, there's this lady writing down my name. Who's that name for? Am I in trouble? Or is my kid in trouble? I'm paying the fee. Am I going to get a penalty? Do I have to go to the principal's office? I have so many questions, right? And there's like so many characters like this that you meet. The driver that picks her up on Tuesdays, for example, because we can't do that. Pick up on the Tuesday. Our nanny, who's from Kenya, who has this hilarious accent. Today is today. So that is Kenyan for, man, what a day. Today is today, right? And it's all these characters that you meet and these interactions that you have with them. I went to there's a stay and play kind of a thing. My kid's in FS1, and I don't know what that translates to, in what world. I don't know what curriculum she's in. Things are so fast and so complicated. I'm learning it all. I don't know if it's Norwegian or British, but anyway, it's called FS1. And the other day we had, British? Okay, we had a thing, stay and play. So parents come in a half hour earlier. Oh, the AMs, man, you barely know what's going on, and you're supposed to be ready and get your kid ready and get to the school a half hour earlier before everyone, so you can stay and play. Dude, I got there and I got to the doors, and the lady's like, "Well, what are you here for? We're not open." I'm like, "You guys sent me a notice to get here early." And they're like, "Okay," and they let me through, and everyone had effed up. I was the only one there with my child, the both of us idiots sitting there in the school going, what? And we just played by ourselves in the kitchen. And this is all comedy. These are all sketches. Once you digest it and you get past it, these are all sketches.
I have our birthing story. I trump yours. You slept. I gamed for 16 hours.
What?
I still get a lot.
What'd you play?
I finished. I basically finished the main quest line of Skyrim. I swear to God.
Doesn't that take people 30 days?
If you do
Isn't that meant to be forever, that game? He finished the game without an ending.
In my defense, there were that day. I think we were the only birth or something, or maybe there was only two. But there were so many nurses around that they literally asked me to go sit down. So I went and sat down, and I brought my Nintendo Switch. I turned it on and I gamed Skyrim for 16 hours because it was a very long labor. God bless.
Dude, I have some friends that gave me interesting tips as I was going, and one of my friends don't discharge, don't leave the hospital until your kid takes their first shit. I was like, what? Yeah, he's like, it's really gross. No one wants to deal with it. Just stay there until they do. Don't worry, it'd be by day 2. I'm sure you're staying there. And so we had my friends were giving me interesting tips like that.
That's awesome. Golden tips. You got to keep them.
Yeah.
You got to save those.
But that, by the way, speaking of, that was my deal with my wife. I said, okay, you're bringing this child. I haven't done much really in the pregnancy, except for stage 1. So as a way to get even, I will clean our child's bottom for the rest of her life. And my wife reminded me of that the 1 or 2 times that I forgot or asked her to do it.
So let me guess, you potty trained her at 6 months then?
Oh yeah, as soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Right away. No questions asked.
The trail of food.
Yeah, I have a portable bidet I'd go with everywhere too.
That's hilarious.
Just preemptively clean and wipe.
Oh man, I love it. Uneeb, as father, I can't even get to my question, man. I'm freaking laughing. I wanted to ask, man, on your perspective, has fatherhood changed like different aspects of your life and how you view things, such things like happiness or you know um, comedy, success? How much has that really made a big impact? Because it impact obviously me drastically. So
Yeah.
it's always interesting to see how other dads kind of have taken it.
Yeah. Wow. You know who's, I think there are like a few stages of change. I remember leading up to maybe the birth, I was quite busy with work as well, and nothing really prepares you. You can do a lot of theoretical stuff. You can do the classes like, excuse me, like we did. Um, and yeah, you can go and even like babysit for friends and family that have babies. But when it's your own child, it's like the switch doesn't fully go off until your own child is born. And and so leading up to it, I was just kind of going with the flow and really trying to be supportive to my missus. And there's so many other things going on that we have to deal with. I think living out here, the dads do a bunch of the paperwork leading up to, during, after, and like all the admin. And then, of course, like there's like things that I was involved in, like setting up the crib, the room. So you do all these physical things, but like the switch still doesn't turn on. And then when she was born, and the first time I held her, oof, like there were no words for how hard that penny dropped, right? And I was bawling, guys. I'm standing there, like doing the whole skin to skin stuff. I was like just I was a wreck, right? And I think one of the nurses was trying to video me, and she's like trying to tell me to smile, and I'm like just like this bubble, like of boogers, like, and the kid's crying, I'm crying, my wife's crying. So uh, that moment isn't a moment. It like changed my entire trajectory. If you watch Marvel and make these timeline jokes a lot, like you split off, you branch off into a different timeline now of three people, right? Or your family unit has changed. And I think then there was like this period of sort of like shock and fear. And there was a lot of fear because for the first time, I was like, in my life, I've not really been responsible for things permanently. I've had
Mm.
temporary responsibilities. I've always had an out, and you can. Hate a job, change it. Hate a country, leave it. Hate a food, don't eat it. You're not getting along with your partner, break up, right? There's always an out. Fought with my parents, I'm running away, right? And then you're like, hang on a second. So no matter what this kid needs, it's me. I have to be the one. And
Yeah.
it's like this, just like, I don't know, how a mother gets pregnant and, life forms. This sort of life is attaching itself like to everything. And this is where really dad's kind of like that switch starts to go on. And so then I was like living in fear, going, what if I fumble this? What if I mess this up? What if I don't get it right? And then you do things like she's crying, oh, you messed it up. You didn't pay attention. Look, you haven't changed her nappy. She might get a rash. Oh, she's uncomfortable, and overdoing it and helicopter parent. So then there was like this phase of sort of overcompensating for everything, and then you start taking that into your life. And so that was the first couple of times I caught myself going, my behavior is changing now. What are the things that have changed? And I was really becoming like a micromanager again at home, at work. And why was I doing that? Because something precious had come into my life, and my body was like, do everything that you can to take care of this precious thing. And then you start to go, calm down, let's hit the brakes and because I do a lot of improv and we're very analytical and we do like really brutal notes after every show and we catch each other's behavior. And a lot of the play is like you and me, you know, we're going to be pushing ourselves as characters in the story, but I need to trust that, you're switched on. And so then that acceptance of this change started to sink in. And it was a while, guys. It was a while. And I not ashamed to admit there's definitely periods of depression too, right?
Well, it's like everything relates. And that's the thing about comedy too. I feel like it's so relatable to every aspect of life. Like every comedian has a lot to say about like just how they, incorporate their comedy into like, well, their life into comedy. And the king of that is Dave Chappelle. I mean, for me, he's number one, man. This guy can take a situation, turn it comedic, and then turn it like emotional in another way, whether it be impactful, fear, like, create whatever sort of emotion into his audience. So I know exactly what you're saying. And, it's amazing how we can slowly like put everything around our children, whether it's what we do for work, whether it's our jobs, our talents, or whatever it may be. Like everything works, around the kids, and that's what happens when you become a father. I do want to ask you before we end, if you can give us one piece of advice, or the dads out there, one piece of advice coming from a comedian, an actor, an improv actor, and a professional. What are your a couple of sentences? What would it be?
Okay. Thanks. Patience. There is a thing happening. It's happening everywhere where we are just cranking the dial up on our lives. We are living faster. We're starting our days earlier, cramming more stuff into our days, and we're not enjoying anything. Patience with your child so that they can understand things, so that they can experience things. If that means that you have to drive further to take them for an experience or wait longer so that they can try something new or explain something 500 times or get on the phone to organize something with somebody, patience at work, patience at home, as much as you can. I really think patience, if you just have patience, I swear it will force you to have empathy. If you're trying to, I mean, I just had a thing happen with my car, and I lost my temper initially, but I phoned up the agency, and I just took a beat, and I was like, hey man, look, maybe I got it wrong, maybe you got it wrong, so let's take it slow, let's take it step by step. What did you think you were supposed to do? Maybe there's a miscommunication there because what was delivered to me was wrong, and so there was actually a problem there, and I was like, guy, can we work on this? Can we, it didn't happen. We lost 2 weeks. It was a 5-hour job, but it's okay. I'll give it another try. And he said, thanks. And, we'll take that chance. Just have patience. Everyone just have patience. We just need a bit more of that.
Golden advice.
No, I love
like
that. I need more patience. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just forces us to think about other people a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. I'm liking these little advice we get.
Yeah, I will listen. Each dad will give you different advice, but that's what I've been telling myself every few weeks. I run into something, I go, oh, just chill, man, just relax. It's not the end of the world. It's not
Yeah.
the end of the world.
No, that's exactly. So my wife nominated me for a Super Dad Award that was recently awarded to me. In fact, I won for Mentor Dad.
So
Congratulations,
the
super dad.
after's top left shoulder, like your left shoulder to top there, bring it down.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, so this is the Super Dad Award.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Thank you. So my wife nominated me, and I ended up winning. And they asked me, they said, what's the one thing as a mentor dad that you think is the most important quality that a mentor should have as a father? And it was patience, by far. That was my number one. There's no comparison. Like, you need to be patient with everything. It's just all of us, we lose our cool, we lose our temper, we can react in ways we shouldn't. But if you're patient, you'll never regret a single action that you ever do. All right. So absolutely agree
100%.
with you there.
Definitely,
100%.
that's where I struggle the most, and there's something that I saw online once, and it's actually been helping me a lot, especially when I get upset or I lose my patience with my kids. I always tell myself, when you're 85, and there's a genie who tells you you can go back to a moment over and over and again, but it's gonna be this moment. I promise you, when you're 85, you will go back to that moment for years and years. Even this moment that you think is the most frustrating moment you're having with your kids, you will press that repeat button until your finger breaks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that one has been helping me a lot.
Wow, that is beautiful.
It's hard, but it's definitely something we should all practice as much as we can. And that's a nice way to wrap it up. A nice little story of patience.
Yeah, man, I keep dragging it. Like, shut it down before I come up with another story.
No, we'll come and see you at your improv show, man. All the stories in
we
the
should
world.
do that,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah.
So where do you perform? What do you do?
Yeah, give us
So I perform at the Courtyard Playhouse, do a Monday night show. It is called Monday Night Comedy. It's a classic show. It started with the ensemble sort of practicing, doing different games and scenes. Then they opened the doors and sort of let people started walking in, and before long it became a whole show.
Nice.
And that's performed by an ensemble, so it's like a group of 8 or 9 of us that work together, just us all year long, a couple of experienced improvisers.
Very cool.
And we have, a little variation on the show. On Wednesdays, every Wednesday, we do a show called Maestro, pretty fantastic format, 10 to 15 improvisers jump up on stage, they'll battle it out, random people in scenes. They're scored by the audience. People, improvisers and lower scores get eliminated until there's one left, and that's the maestro.
Okay.
You can check them both out at courtyardplayhouse.com. It's in Dubai and Al Quoz. Get on the What's On page, the events page, and look at evening programs.
Very cool.
If I'm not on stage, I'm producing the show, I'm making popcorn, I'm backstage, I'm around, so you'll see me.
Yeah, go check out Uneeb, Osama Farooqi, your LinkedIn name, and yeah, man, great to have you on. It's been very enlightening to get a perspective, a dad perspective from a comedian, an actor, and a good friend. So, thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm Yas, he's Hoos, and that's Uneeb, and we are
out.
He wants Jordans, but I'm patching boots. Teaching him truth in a world of disputes. Late nights at the table, math, homework sprawled. Feels like I'm learning alongside it all. He asks me why the sky turns red, why folks grow old, why dreams play dead. I don't have answers, just stories to tell of a man still climbing, trying not to fail.